Good morning. So I've had a few people ask me over the last few months why I left Peru. And when I went to Peru, I was super depressed. I was totally dead inside, numb, couldn't really feel myself. Except for anger, there's a lot of anger inside of me. I was, at the time, before I went, I remember sitting on this couch, and I've been on the couch for so long during this one winter that I left an indent in it. I slept there, I ate there. I think I was probably peeing in bottles, just totally fucked. And I found out about the workshop down there through this girl named Erin Byron, who I met on the Appalachian Trail. I just passed her a few times on the trail. I never really talked to her much. But during the time I was depressed, I saw her on Facebook and I thought she was super cute. So as I sat there in my sweatpants and surrounded by wrappers of food and dirty plates and empty bottles, I started to flirt with her on Facebook, and within 5 minutes of her responding to me, I was like crying and telling her, I was an addict, I was an alcoholic, and I wanted to die. And she suggested this workshop that she had done down in Peru and how it changed her life. And I think within the hour, I had either signed up or I had made contact with the people down there, with my sister Leanne, who I think was doing the office work at the time. So yeah, I set it up for a few months after that date. So I went down there, and I was blown away by what the workshop did for me. And at that point, I had chosen that if this workshop didn't work, I was going to lock myself away in a year rehab, because at that point I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know how to stop drinking. I didn't know, how to control myself, and I just had this impending feeling that I was going to die within the year. And for those that know me well, that possibility was pretty good for me. And between car crashes and just completely reckless behavior, I didn't give a fuck. But the workshop did work. I saw amazing things during the workshop. I saw things about myself. Things really made sense to me, and that was one of the things about my life before then, is that inside of me I knew there was a part of me that was good and that wanted to be better, and then there was the part of me that just sabotaged everything every time I started to do better. And so I was super inspired. I felt like I was beginning to get some answers of how I operated and why I operated the way I did. Now online, you guys see Terra Mítica as kind of like an art retreat center, because the actual workshops themselves, we only publicize the actual workshop, kind of what they do, and because there's no filming during the workshop, there's no marketing about what is actually going on inside the workshop, and it kind of remains a mystery. But that's because you go to the deepest, darkest places in people, and wild shit happens. It's one of, like mikas says, and I fully believe and witnessed many times, that it's the biggest adventure that you'll ever go on. It's like no movie you've ever seen or no book that you've ever read. And So my time spent down there the last 3.5 years was amazing. Like, I opened my heart so many times and tore piece by piece all the armor that I'd built over the years, and created new perceptions and new beliefs within inside myself, and the world really makes sense now to me. And without me being preachy, and really keeping the core of who I am intact, and that's really just a loving, cheeky, mischievous little boy, and but now that has goals, and now that completes goals, and now that keeps his priority his happiness, and that's what's most important to me. And so why did I leave? Well, like I said, when I got down there, I was super fucked. And as I stayed there and started to fix myself, I started to believe in myself more, and I started to see how powerful I was. And by the end of it, I always use this analogy that I felt like a shiny new race car that was kind of parked in the garage. Like, I'd never really been out in the world and been in a place where I knew I could take it on, and that I could actually live in society and thrive. It was always just a fucking struggle, and because I made it that way, you know what I mean? I made it that way. So there was a couple of reasons why I left. I couldn't fully choose to be there when I was always wondering what it was like out in the States or out in the world. I wanted to see what I could do. I wanted to see if I could make it, because I had been in such a safe bubble for so long down there. There was always a piece of me that wondered, well, like, is this real? Are the changes real that I feel inside me? Or will I go back out and go into the world and then just fall back into where I was? And, like a few months before I left, me and my wife, Sarah, I love you, Sarah, is still my best friend. We separated, and so that was another factor as well. Not the factor that we separated, but that most of the people down there are couples, and I also wanted to meet somebody, and my chances of meeting somebody greatly increase in the States. It's just more women. And also my dad, it was another factor. He's 78, and we had rekindled a relationship at that point, but there was a piece of me as a son to just spend time with my dad, because I know I don't have much time left with him. And yeah, it's been a beautiful transformation, that relationship. And we did, like, this summer has been amazing for us, so also fixing bad blood, also paying off debts, getting my license, and all these things that were hanging over my head down there. And I also left there with a feeling of family, like for the first time I was going out into the world, and I felt I had this family, this support behind me, and it made me feel safe. It made me feel like I could fall back on them if I needed to, and that it was like a cushion, and not fall back in the sense of like, hey, I need some money, but like fall back on if I needed to that they would always be there for me, you know, that I could always come home there, and that place will always be a home to me. It's like my parents' house, you know, and now I have my dad's house, and now I actually have my parents' house and my extended parents' house, you know, and mikas over the years, I also see him as such a father figure and such an ally, and you know, the man's incredible. And a lot of people think it's a cult and all these things, but it's just a group of people that were fucked up, you know, that found a way not to be, and found a way to be happy in a world that's pretty miserable, you know, and want to fix and help other people because it makes them feel good, not even because they just want to fix things. They just want to fix people, but it opens our hearts to help people out that have been in the same place as we've been. And yeah, like I said, it really is. Like, I've experienced a lot of crazy shit in my life, and you know, I've been in the army, I've jumped out of planes, I've done every drug, I've done just about every adventure, you know what I mean? I've been a commercial fisherman, I've done all the wild shit, and nothing holds a candle to these workshops down there. And the heart that these people have, and the heart that Mikas and everybody down there has shown me that I have. So yeah, that's why I left. I couldn't make a choice to be down there when I was torn. Basically, I was torn between kind of two worlds, between the world of seeing what I could do and all these things hanging over my head, and the world of like just paradise. I mean, the place is a paradise, and it's not all just paint and sculptures. Like it's fucking tough living down there. Like every day you're looking at yourself and trying to change your perceptions and your beliefs, and it's almost a pressure cooker, you know, and that's beautiful in itself, really. It's you're just so conscious of what you're doing all the time and why you're doing it, and trying to eliminate the things and reprogram yourself to the person you want to be, and to the person that makes you the happiest, and to be the hero of your own story. So yeah, people also ask me, do I regret my choice that I left? And like I don't. Like I'm having so much fun, and you know, just the petty things too. Like I can get Ben and Jerry's whenever I want, you know. But also I'm making myself super proud because, you know, when I was down there, I guess I felt like, you know, I was making my own choices, but when you're in a group like that, you always have people like, if I'm going to make this choice, and like 3 people say, you know, I think you're fucking up, I don't think that's a good choice, and I'm gonna take that advice because I trust them, you know. And out here, like when I'm making choices, I know that they're coming just from me, and they're not being influenced. And the influence down there is not a negative thing, you know what I mean? But it just makes me super proud that I'm out here making these choices and making good choices, and they're just coming straight from me. And I've made some bad choices as I've been out here, but you know, that's life, you know, and I'm learning from them and tweaking myself, you know, and tweaking my programming more and more as things come up. But overall, like I've been making amazing choices, and I've been feeling amazing, and also I've been super proud of myself, like just so proud of myself. And so yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna keep going on. That's what my dad says all the time. I'm only I'm not going to keep going on and on about this, but I'll just say one more thing. But I'm in Indiana right now. I'm about, 25 miles in. About 8 hours more until I'm halfway, and then I have another 20-something hours. But yeah, so I hope that answers everybody's questions about why I left Peru. Ciao, ciao.